right. West 28th Street going to fire a right wing three. Give it to her.
This is the Duke Women's Basketball Radio Show.
Goes to work, spins up a shot, count it, and a chance for three. Strong take by Donovan.
Our coverage of Duke Women's Basketball is brought to you by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. Alongside head coach Carol Lawson, here's the voice of Duke Women's Basketball, Chris Edwards.
Welcome to GRUB and our latest Carol Lawson show of the season. It is great to have you with us on this Tuesday night. And, Coach, always good to be with you. Good week for your crowd. An enthusiastic crowd on a chilly night. 2-0 this past week with wins over Clemson and Miami. What do you take away from those two wins for your team?
Well, I just liked how we bounced back. You know, certainly losing the game over there in Raleigh on Monday night, wasn't the result we were hoping for, but the way the team refocused, got our defense back, 2 resounding wins over ACC teams, taking care of home court. We put ourselves in a great position here now down this home stretch. Now this home stretch has teams that are going to present a lot of problems for us. But, I was thinking about this today, if we're so fortunate to win on Thursday, that would put us 11-2 in the league. And we finished 11-7 last year. Uh-huh. So, if we're able to win on Thursday, we would tie the wins that this group had a year ago. Now, that's not technically improvement yet because you could certainly lose your last 5, sure. Right? Like, you have to win those games. But to look year over year how much this group has grown, and that has shown not only on the court but also in their results. It's good to step back and take stock in those things and to see how the group has grown and to appreciate where you are, even though, you wish you were undefeated at this point. And you certainly look at the games you've had and feel like, man, if we'd have played better here, we played better there. But at the end of the day, I think this group to this point has had an outstanding season, and we still have a lot to improve on, but they're intent on doing so.
Let me dive deeper into that. We talked about that after the game on Sunday, the win over Miami, and just appreciating every single win because, as you point out, it is really hard to win in this league.
Listen, I remember my first year here, we finished 7-11 in the league, and every win was really hard to get. And so I never forget that. Mm-hmm. I never forget those times. Anytime, a win might seem from the outside as easy, I appreciate and remember when it wasn't so quote-unquote easy, and what we've had to build and what we've had to go through and what these players have had to mature and how we've had to recruit all these kids, and how you appreciate that because you can get a little spoiled sometimes, or maybe a little frustrated at even during that game on Sunday. I was frustrated because we weren't doing the things we were supposed to do all the time. I'm not going to stop getting frustrated. I'm not saying that. Don't go crazy. But I think it is good for me as a coach to recognize what they're doing, the type of season they're putting together, and I do appreciate their effort, and I appreciate the results that we've been able to get.
Well, let's dive back into the nuts and bolts of the last 2 games. We talked a lot about defense going into the Clemson and the Miami game. What did you like most about the defensive effort in those 2 games particularly?
I just felt like we were back to ourselves defensively. The pressure, the turnovers we were able to force, the intensity that we played with, the attention to detail that we played with, all of those things are noticeable when we're doing it right. Actually, they're noticeable either way, aren't they?
Sure, yep.
They're noticeable when we're doing it right, and they're noticeable when we're doing it wrong, which means the other team's scoring pretty easily. But that's what I liked, and they were working hard. I could tell when they're working hard. They come over to the bench, they're tired, they're breathing the whole time out hard, or they're asking for sub, because they need just a quick blow. So I can tell when they're working hard enough and when they're not, and they were working hard these last 2 games.
27 turnovers against Clemson, 28 forced against Miami. How important is that aspect of your defense to be able to disrupt the other team consistently?
Well, I get asked this question a lot, and maybe I'm wrong, which happens a lot. We don't really teach them to go for turnovers. Like when we're teaching in practice, I don't feel that. I don't feel like we say, hey, go get the ball. Go take the ball. I don't think we, Karen, do you think we do that? I don't think we do that. I don't think we teach that. So people always say like, well, what, like I'm teaching something that's, taking the ball away. We don't play for the turnover. We don't talk about the turnovers. We talk about our turnovers. If we're going to talk in a game plan about anybody's turnovers, but pregame or halftime, we're going to talk about ours. We're going to say, hey, let's keep those low. But we never go into a game saying, hey, we got to force 20 or we got to force 25. So sometimes it's just kind of surreal to me that we force that many because we don't ever talk about it. What do we talk about then? So, like, we talk about being disciplined. We talked about having the correct body position. We do talk about pressuring. Okay, but we talk about pressuring responsibly. It's like responsibly, meaning like not carelessly, not where you're out of position and they get an open layup or they get an open three. Now, I do have some really instinctive players that are aggressive by nature, and so just don't screw them up. If they go take the ball, like what am I going to say? Right. Don't do that. But I don't say they're good like that. But it just baffles me. We don't talk about it. And then, but other thing I think is shot clock violations, travels, charges are all turnovers. I don't know if you know that. I assume you probably do. You probably know more about the rules than I do. But so those all count as turnovers. So a turnover is not just someone grabbing the ball from someone else. When I look at it like that, we do get a number of shot clock violations. When the defense is going well, that's a turnover. We do force some travels, that's a turnover. And we do get some charges. So I guess you start to kind of add all those up, and it happens to be a lot. But this is confounding to me. I don't know how we force all these turnovers.
I think about, in terms of turnovers and forcing pressure, deflections too, which may not always be a turnover, but could still be disruptive to an offense, couldn't it?
We do talk about that.
Yeah.
That's something we do talk about. We do want them to get deflections. So yeah, I guess that's something that it's really not top of mind. I never think about this but then everybody's fascinated by this. They ask me this question all the time.
Well, sorry to keep asking you this question.
No, it's okay. Well, listen, it's fine, but I would come into the press conference and I always get asked the turnover question. I just don't know how to answer it because I'm like, I don't know how we do it. We just do it.
Just instinctual plays.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. We'll take a break. We'll come back to GRUB and have more with Coach after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
The same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke.
The crowd will rise as one, and what a statement, and what a win.
Whether you're in the market for a new boat or just need service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overby Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overby Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overby Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbymarine.com. Overby Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
'Tis the season for family and friends. 'Tis the season for gifting. And 'tis the season for making holiday dreams come true. 'Tis the season for using the old-timey contraction 'tis. And 'tis the time of year for holiday scratch-offs. With over $85 million in total prizes, 'tis the best gift of all.
'Tis the season to gift endless joy with holiday scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.06 to 9.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
back at GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson. Great to have you with us tonight. Coach, we were talking about turnovers a second ago and just forcing and being good on that end of the floor. One thing to force the turnovers, but another thing to also convert those turnovers into points on the offensive end, isn't it?
That's something I think we're improving on. Our transition game is something that we've worked hard. As I said, I don't know how we're forcing the turnovers, but when we are forcing that many, we should be converting more. So you just talk about your conversion rate, as a group, like if you're going to be forcing that many turnovers and X amount of them are of the live ball variety, okay, how many of those of the live ball variety can we convert into points? What's our conversion rate? So we've worked on that. That's something that we're trying to do and trying to improve and get better. Through the first half of league play, we were not very good in transition. The numbers said that, okay? And so we're hoping the second half of league play we can be better in transition at converting more opportunities.
You mentioned live ball turnovers. I'm sure everybody probably knows, but in case someone doesn't, difference in live ball versus dead ball turnovers.
So a dead ball turnover is like a charge or a shot clock violation or travel. That means the ball is dead and has to be taken out before it can be put into play again. The live ball turnover is like a steal. The play still goes. Typically in a live ball turnover situation, you have a better chance to score because they can't set their defense. You have a numbers advantage, maybe a 2-on-1, maybe a 3-on-2. And so those are the ones you really got to convert. A dead ball turnover, you don't have a numbers advantage. The ball gets taken out. All 5 of their players are back and they're set in their half court or their zone defense. And now you're going 5-on-5. So it really is a regular possession, a regular defensive possession. Even though you forced a turnover, it still is a regular set defense. And so most teams are much better scoring again in transition than they are against a set defense. And so the numbers typically reflect that. What numbers? So like your points per possession in a transition possession, your average would be higher than your half court offense points per possession. And if I was guessing, I would guess every team in the country's transition points per possession is higher than their half court points per possession. So that is just kind of what it is. How much higher or whatever, that depends on your efficiency.
Okay.
So
we've talked a lot about defense and individual players defensively. Does Delaney get enough credit for how much she's improved and how good she is defensively?
Well, you know what I feel about credit.
I know.
Not worried about that.
Yep.
I think Delaney is a fine defensive player. She has a great understanding of our coverages. Her communication is at a really high level. She is versatile. She's having to play more post defense this year. She's playing more 5 for us, but she has the ability to play 4 for us in our schemes and play different ball screen coverages. She can switch in the middle of the game. If you say, hey, we need to make an adjustment, play it this way now, she can play it that way. She is very sound in what we need her to do. So I have a lot of confidence in her, when she's out there, that she's going to be able to execute on both ends what we need to do to win.
We talked before the game against Miami about the challenge they're going to present with their interior players and experienced post player. How did you feel like your post players competed against that experienced post on Sunday afternoon?
She kicked our butt in the first half. Didn't you think?
Yeah.
I thought she did. 44.
Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Somebody asked me after the game, they said, what adjustment did you make in this halftime to, she was good in the first half and then she didn't score as much in the second half. I said, I told Delaney and Toby they were playing bad. That was the adjustment. Play better.
Sure.
I mean, the scheme wasn't the issue. Now, I'll be the first to raise my hand if the scheme's the issue, and we'll change the scheme, right? But when the scheme's not the issue, then the players got to play better. So I just told them at halftime they need to play better, and then they did. They listened to me for once, and then they did, and that's how they stopped it. So I thought our post defense in the first half, one-on-one, was poor, and so she had double-figure points. And then I thought in the second half they made a switch, which was good. So that helped us.
All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back to Grub, have more with Coach after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
Are we still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown Bar District.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up. Home. Drop off downtown Bar District.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
For any surface and every season, Continental Tire is the smart choice in tires. From ultra-high performance tires like the Extreme Contact Sport 02 to passenger touring tires to all-terrain light truck tires like the Terrain Content AT, Continental has a tire that gives you confidence no matter the road conditions. Whether you're looking for summer, all-season, or winter tires, Continental Tire has something to fit your needs. Visit ContinentalTire.com to find your ideal tire. Continental Tire, a proud partner of the Duke Blue Devils.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletic season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Are you ready to show your Duke pride wherever you go? Visit shop.duke.edu, your one-stop online store for all things Duke. From the latest apparel to must-have accessories, Duke University Stores has it all. Whether you're a student, alumni, or fan, shop.duke.edu has something for everyone. Get your hands on exclusive Duke gear today. Shop conveniently online at shop.duke.edu, where real Duke fans shop.
Back to Grub with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson. Great to have you with us tonight. Coach, we've been talking a lot about defense. Kind of the last thought on defense here. Just the philosophy for you as a coach defensively, picking up and wanting to play that good defense. Is that stuff you picked up along your basketball journey, or is that kind of instilled with you like from Coach Summit? Like, where'd you get the principles of wanting to teach good, solid, fundamental defense for your teams?
You know, listen, when I played, I didn't like defense. That's why it's so weird. I just like to shoot threes and things.
Yeah.
And Coach Summit made me play it, you know, and I did. I understood its importance. It's a difference between, I think, when you say I didn't like it, I understood its value. I understood its importance, and I did it because I wanted to win. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't like I didn't play it, but, you know, it just wasn't my favorite part. But then, you know, I understood its value, and then when I got into the pros, I, you know, played for some good defensive coaches as well. And the year we won the WNBA championship in my pro career, we were the best defensive team in the league. So you kind of just got to make a decision. You know, it's like whether you want to win or not. And is your love of winning higher than your disdain for playing defense? And mine is a lot higher. Mm-hmm. So once I figured out that formula, then when I got here, as we were putting kind of the staff together and the team together, and as we've continued to put the team together and the staff together, you know, I really do think you have to try to put together a scheme that augments the strengths of your players. You know, I'd never want to be a coach that just plays a certain way. I want to put them in positions to succeed. And so for us, when we became a defensive program, because we didn't play a lot of defense my first 2 years, and then we went and we recruited, we got like 6 players or 7 players in the transfer portal after my first year. And the athleticism of the players started to grow. We started to recruit players with great athleticism, and when you're watching them play, you're thinking like, okay, if we're this athletic at these spots, like we could probably pressure, you know, more. Why not utilize their talents and abilities? So we started to do that, and then, you know, started to grow from there. And, you know, Coach Tia put in the press, and Coach Karen started to put in the schemes, and it just started working. I think we were like one of the top 5 defensive teams, and then we've just kind of kept that part. And then this year, we're more balanced. We got better offense this year when you look at the numbers compared over the last couple of years. So the goal overall was always to be a complete team, complete program. It's just taking time to get all those pieces together, and now we're getting more and more pieces, and I think that'll help us in the future as well.
For the fans that are watching the games at home or maybe in Cameron watching the games, particularly on defense, are there certain things that maybe they should be looking at from a scheme standpoint to see players doing this or doing that to see if they're doing something right?
That's a sneaky way to get the secrets.
I'm not trying to.
Okay. What are they doing right? Well, we typically want to be able to guard one-on-one. We would like to be able, as many possessions as possible, is keep our player in front and not allow them to get to the paint. We'd like to stop them and be able to level them off, cut them off before they get into the blue. That's a big thing, and that's really hard to do against good teams and good players. If they do get by us, they should not get all the way to the rim without another Duke player being in the way. So we don't want to give up any open layups. So a simple way to watch our defense, if it worked or didn't, is if they got a layup, it didn't work. It didn't work. Something broke down. Either the player on the ball got beat and or the player in help was not there appropriately. And then open threes is not what we're trying to give up.
Sure.
So if you see someone getting open three, something happened. I don't know what. I can't just tell you every time. It's different. It could be a different thing. Someone could have fallen down. Someone could have made the wrong rotation. Somebody could have done the wrong scheme. Like, it could be a number of mistakes. So for us, if you're seeing a lot of open shots by the other team, it's not good. Like what that's. I mean, I know that sounds like I'm being like simple or sarcastic, but it's like basketball is a simple game. People try to make it complicated, and they try to like show off their knowledge of it and say all these complicated things and this and that and say all these words and this terminology and all that. Okay, all that stuff's out there. Okay, whatever. At the end of the day, are you giving up open layups and open threes? If you are, you're probably not going to be a good defensive team. Because eventually you're going to run up against a team that can make open layups and open threes. Even if that night they don't and you still win. That's basically what I would say. And then you have to take the talents and abilities of the team you're playing, and you have to say, like, okay, how are they getting open layups and open threes? How do they do that? They do something. They run around. They screen, right, for each other, on the ball, off the ball. Like, there's some organization to what they're doing. That's the output of that is open layups or open threes. Okay, now we have to decide, like, okay, how are we going to stop all this? And then the players all have different talents, abilities that you're playing against. So you have to say, okay, we got to take away this from this player. Okay, we can't allow this player to do that. We can't allow this player to do that. So the players on our team are having a lot of things going on in their brain at one time because they're thinking like, oh, who am I guarding? Oh, she can do this, this, and this. I got to take away this. Okay, yeah, I got to. And so that's what's going on. So they're really thinking a lot. They're processing a lot. That's why they're so focused. You see them out there. They're focused because they're having to remember a lot of things while they're doing it. So that was that a good explanation?
It was great. Thank you.
Good.
I appreciate that. We'll take a time out. We'll come back to GRUB and have more with Coach after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Down your back, or the foam finger poking you in the face? Well, head to the concession stand, grab a Lindy's Italian Ice, and take a 6-ounce vacation. A 6-ounce cup of lemon Italian Ice will make you feel like you're swaying in a hammock, and the only thing in your face is a cool, salty breeze. That ought to have you refreshed. Now get your head back in the game and start belting out blue and white with the youthful exuberance of the freshman behind you. Yes, the same one that keeps spilling his drink down your back. Lindy's Italian Ice. Have an ice day.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Oh, what a great camping trip for the Williams family. It was epic, Zach. And this week's MVP was their 2024 Ford Bronco SUV, Matt.
Absolutely. It hauled everything and everyone to this great spot by the lake.
And get them back in time for the big game.
Yeah, let's go! Let's go.
With the Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport SUV on your team, it's game on. For the latest offers, go to buyfordnow.com or see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
The passion, the tradition, the rivalries. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On ACC Radio, there is complete coverage of every school in the conference, including live games, coaches' shows, and more. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/ACC Sports.
10 years ago, who could have predicted what the internet would bring? Streaming videos, voice assistants, smartphones, smart homes, work from home. But here we are, wondering what the next 10 years will bring. Whatever it brings, Lumos 100% fiber optic internet is ready with incredible speeds and reliability. So you can do more and be more than you ever thought possible on the internet built for the future. Plans start at $50 per month. Learn more at lumosfiber.com/next.
I get GRUB with the head coach of the Blue Devils, Kara Lawson. Great to have you with us tonight. All right, Coach, let's get to some audience and social media questions. We got this one on social media earlier today from Mackenzie. What advice do you have for coaching mental toughness and confidence to young athletes?
Oh. Well, I think it's important that you know each of your players well. So you know, because it's such a broad topic, right? Like mental toughness and confidence. You have to have a good feel for each of your players at what stage of maturity that they're in, emotional maturity. Do they have already pretty good mental toughness and confidence? Are they coming in struggling with that? Are they in a high period of confidence or a low period of confidence within the season? Because certainly that fluctuates throughout the year, just like anything else. So staying in tune with that, with each of your players, I think is important. And then it's not just myself, our assistants, their teammates. You know, it's everybody's job, including that player. You know, I say this to my players a lot, like, only you can give away your confidence. Like, you control that. Like, when people say, oh, well, the coach took away my confidence or my teammate took away my confidence. It's like, no, you gave it away. There's a difference. You have to decide whether you're going to allow whether you're going to allow yourself to give that away, whether you're going to wake up every day with confidence in spite of what result is or in spite of how you're feeling or playing at that time. So we just talk about kind of like those two concepts and why they do fluctuate and what are some things that you can do to try and get them higher when you are struggling.
From Bonnie, who's in our audience tonight, what WNBA player did you look up to when you were in college and why?
College? Well, probably Cynthia Cooper when I was in high school. You know, she was probably the best player in the league at the time. So I would probably say her when I was in high school. I did look up to Teresa Edwards when I was in college as well.
From Barba, do you have any hobbies that you focus on in your, quote, downtime? She lists a few, but I don't know if you participate in any of these or not.
What are they?
Cooking, gardening,
yeah,
tennis, art, or something else.
Oh, well, I do cook.
Yeah.
I mean, but I wouldn't say it's my spare time. It's just like I got to eat.
Sure.
You know,
We
so
all
I have
do,
to
yeah.
cook to eat.
Right.
And I try not to eat out as much, you know, just from a health standpoint. What was it, gardening?
Yeah.
I do gardening in the summer.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing, but I like to be out there in the yard.
Yeah.
Mostly pulling weeds.
Yeah. You're not growing any like plants or anything? No.
Well, I have flowers.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, somebody takes care of those. I don't plant them and stuff.
Right.
But I do like the weed and stuff.
Okay.
I used to cut the grass, but I don't anymore.
Sure.
I don't have the time for it. What was it? Art?
Art.
Oh, yeah. I'm not good at that.
No, me either.
Yeah, so I appreciate it, and I enjoy. Once in a while, I'll go to a, musical or, a museum or things like that. I can appreciate art, but I'm not very. I don't do art. And what was the other one?
Tennis.
Tennis. I have not played tennis in some time.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do like the sport, and I did play when I was younger.
Are you a golfer?
I will go to the range.
Okay.
But I don't go on the course.
No. I probably need to quit going on the course. It'd be better for everybody if I stopped.
Well, that's a very challenging game,
is.
and you have to have time to be a good golfer. You have to have time, and I don't have that time right now. But I will go to the range from time to time and see if I can get it straight.
If you figure it out, let me know how to hit it straight. Because
I do once in a while.
I have a hard time with that.
Yeah.
Candy, who's in our audience tonight, what is the play Alucci did when she slid from the basket like a baseball player sliding into home plate to tie up the ball?
Well, that was just, we call that a winning play. That's what it was. And we talk with our players about how many winning plays can you make each game, games that directly impact the result. To get on the floor first and grab a ball, it gives us a possession. And how many times at the end of a close game would you wish you had one more possession? Well, don't wait to the end. Get it in the middle. So that was a winning play. And every day after the game, when we show film from the last game, the first thing we show are the winning plays. Who made winning plays, and there's not many of them. What I mean by that is you can't just make a layup to get a winning play. It has to be something extraordinary. So that's just I call that a winning play. Yeah, what she did, that was awesome.
And scoring may not always be a winning play either, right? It's other ways you can impact the game.
Very rarely is a score a winning play. If I think in my head over the season, but it could be.
Sure.
I mean, I guess if you made a buzzer beater, it technically, by definition, would be a winning play. Yeah.
Ashlyn Jackson has scored in double figures in 9 of the last 11 games. What have you seen out of Ashlyn's game offensively here lately?
Ashlyn, in January, just decided, hey, man, I'm turning this thing up. And I'm turning my competitiveness up, and I'm turning my swagger up, and I'm going to attack this, and I'm not going to sit back and wait for anything. And I've loved it. So I think she's just kind of said, hey, I'm taking ownership of this thing, along with other players. She's not the only one, but she's played with a big old attitude the last 5-6 weeks, and we've needed it. And she's our leader, and she's coming in and being super consistent. And obviously she can make threes. That's the biggest strength of her offensively, but she can do a lot of things. But I just think her emotion and her attitude and her confidence is what kind of has, helped us a lot.
We're going to talk to Karen Middleton coming up here in a second. Maybe just a note on Karen and what she means to the program.
Yeah, well, she's very calm, and that helps me because I'm not calm if you've seen me on the sidelines. And she's very measured, and very concise with her thoughts. So, I listen to every word she says because she doesn't give fluff, which I like. She's just not going to say a throwaway line or a throwaway thing. If she's saying something, it's because, it's something she sees or something she thinks can help. And so that's a great quality to have because some people just say a lot of fluff. And so then you have to figure out, okay, do I tune them out today or do I not tune them in today? I never have to think that with Karen. I just listen to what she has to say. And she's obviously very experienced in a lot of different ways. She's been an assistant coach, been a head coach, and sees the game very, very well, especially as it's happening. She gives great suggestions during the game in terms of plays. And we were in the game at Georgia Tech, and we needed to score. And, if you remember, Lucci made a couple plays late to score, and Karen called those plays. Well, she told me to call them, but, I looked good, but it was really her idea, And so that's an example. That's an in-game example of, something that she saw that was hey, I think this would be a good play to run, for Lucci. And so I was like, yeah, okay. And then it worked, so you have to have that trust, with one another. And so for me, that's been really valuable.
Well, to your point, it's trust with your players. The players have to have trust in each other, but the coaches have to have trust in each other too, right?
Yeah, the coaches definitely have to have trust in each other, because you have to always have each other's back, and you have to work together, and you have to you just have to be a team. Just like the players have to be a team, we have to be a team. And I think we are a team. I think we're a good team. I think we work well together. I think we challenge one another, which you need to have. And I think every coach that is in our program wants what's best for the program, and that's most important. And then there has to be trust between the players and the coaches. And so our players trust Karen. They know that if she's running the scout, that they're going to be prepared, and that's important too. The players have to trust the coaches have to trust the players. And I think that's why it works, here at Duke. I think everybody trusts one another.
We'll visit with Karen coming up when we come back to GRUB after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp. Refreshing. And ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Are you ready to show your Duke pride wherever you go? Visit shop.duke.edu, your one-stop online store for all things Duke. From the latest apparel to must-have accessories, Duke University Stores has it all. Whether you're a student, alumni, or fan, shop.duke.edu has something for everyone. Get your hands on exclusive Duke gear today. Shop conveniently online at shop.duke.edu, where real Duke fans shop.
At Reed's Jewelers, we know that the rules of engagement were made to be broken. So don't settle for the first ring you see in the case. When you put a ring on it, make the moment your own with something that's just as unique as your love. Whether you're going big, keeping it subtle, or finding a happy medium, we're here to help you say I do with a one-of-a-kind design. Because doing things your way is what makes them mean everything. Reed's Jewelers, an official partner of Blue Devil Sports. Visit your local Reed's Jewelers in-store or online at reeds.com to chat with an expert.
I feel happy, Valero Pay Plus app.
I feel happy, it makes savings a snap.
Use it and start saving automatically.
You just save some money, not do shit.
I feel happy, I'm in and out real fast.
I feel happy, now pit stops are a blast.
Download today and get in on the fun. Valero Pay Plus app, your savings have begun.
Back at GRUB on this Tuesday night as the Karen Lawson Show continues. Great to have you with us. Thanks so much for joining us, and happy to have Karen Middleton with us tonight. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
You have been in basketball basically like your whole life, the way I understand it.
Yes.
So
Yep.
when did you fall in love first with the game?
Well, I've got a brother that's 5 years older, and just always tried to keep up with him. And he just had a bunch of guys. He played in high school, and I just wanted to keep up with them. And they let me play. I think I became a pretty good shooter because I could not rumble inside with them in the paint, so I just stayed outside and found my three-point shot from that. But yeah, it was my brother. My dad played in high school, and he was a good player himself. So just trying to keep up with the big guys.
I think you're sandbagging your shot a little bit, Coach. Over 1,700 career points. You made 115 three-pointers. That was in a single season, set the program record there. Did you have a natural shot, or how much did you have to work on the shot?
I love playing. I love the game. When I played, there wasn't a lot of basketball on television. It was the guys. I grew up with ACC men's basketball on Raycom Sports on Saturday afternoons, and that was the game we'd watch. And my brother watched it. I watched with him and learned the game, and loved Steve Alford back in the day and the shooters that were out there. So we had a hoop in the backyard, and I had the spotlight on it and just a dirt. And it was just completely no grass anymore from me just shooting. But, yeah, I just love doing it and love playing.
That's awesome. How many threes could you make today? If I gave you 100, how many do you think you can make?
I don't know. I have not done it in a long time, just messing around a little bit, but I don't know.
Okay.
I think once you got it, right?
Yeah, you don't lose it.
Yeah.
Well, Coach and I talk about it all the time. The coaches could go out and beat the players.
We've got a staff that, I wouldn't put it past us. I really wouldn't.
Speaking of coaching, when did you realize you wanted to get into coaching and do this as your vocation?
I always did. I always knew I wanted to stay in the game. I was education background, undergrad and grad, so I thought I was going to teach high school math, believe it or not, and coach. And that was my route until I got to be a senior in college, and it was a restricted earnings position at the time, GA type position, and South Carolina had that. And Coach Wilson, who was my coach, still great mentor for me today, asked me if I wanted to have that position, and I did, and never looked back. So I actually student taught my first semester out, 5th grade, student taught, and then started that January as the restricted earnings coach at South Carolina, and just kept it going from there.
Yeah, we talked about the growth in the sport, but from a coaching standpoint too, the growth in coaching in women's basketball, from the restricted earning and now just where the profession is today, is unbelievable.
Incredible, really incredible. And even just in the last couple of years, it's just taken off tremendously with NIL, cost of attendance, like you name it. It's just exploded, and very much so. Like, it's just a great game. It's fun to watch. But so much support now. We've got so many opportunities from high school level to club to all the tournaments. Like when I played, it was AAU and that was it. There was no other tournaments that we could go to. It was all or nothing with AAU. If you lost out in state, you didn't get to go to nationals, and you were done unless another team picked you up. But it's good and bad nonstop for these young ladies in high school, but also just the opportunities, the ability to grow your skill, your craft. It is tremendous.
You've been a coach at so many different places, a head coach in Division III. You've worked all over the country as a head coach, as an assistant. Well, what's the most rewarding part for you in this basketball journey?
I think the everyday and the practice, seeing young ladies grow, not just on the court but off the court, spending time with them, building those relationships. The game is icing on the cake, and as competitors, like, you're always wanting to win, but it's the day-to-day that you get to be with the players, with the coaches, with your staff, with the people that you're around every single day. Just it's not a job. It's something you enjoy to do, you love to do, and when you find a great opportunity like this, with this group, with this program, with Kara, like, it's fun every single day.
Yeah, tell me why Duke? Why this program? Why did you want to be part of what Coach is building?
Well, I wasn't looking, and I think I talked about this before. Like, I was very happy. I was at Wisconsin Lacrosse, Division III head coach. Had been there for 7 years, done really well, have kind of built the program, and Kara calls and it changes everything. I wasn't thinking, I wasn't looking for anything, but it was Kara first, and it's Duke. I was not going to go anywhere else, and we talked about this, but it was like, where else would you go? And there was not another school I would have left where I was to go for, with the people that was here. With Kara, I knew Tia. I'd worked with her at another school. I knew of Karen Lang, and it was a no-brainer to me. So
now that you're here, year 2 here at Duke, you're probably better equipped to answer this question. What do you think makes Duke, the University, Durham as a whole, such a special place?
It's all-encompassing. For our young ladies to get the elite education that they're getting, the opportunities that are presented by Duke itself, the brand of it, but then top that off with the experience they're getting from a basketball standpoint. And I've seen it, but I don't know if there's anyone better out there than Kara right now and what she's doing and how she's doing it. Building it the right way, doing it the right way, and that's very important. It was very important to me to go somewhere where I knew it was going to be done the right way, in an environment where you're easily able to go the other way, but it's done the right way every single day. And it's just, you can't beat it. Can't beat it.
As we wrap up, as you look over the last 3.5 weeks of the regular season, where's the biggest area of growth for this team still?
I mean, we talk about it all the time. Kara talks about it all the time. It's in the details, you know, and we're at the point, Kara spoke about it this morning, is like we're trying to improve ourselves, but every opportunity that we're on the court now, we're preparing for an opponent. So how quickly can we absorb the scout for Wake Forest? And every game is going to be different. Every advantage that we can try to take of is going to be different. How quickly can we transfer from Miami to go to Wake Forest and be able to use our skill and what we bring and do that while at the same time doing what we do from the defensive standpoint, from a transition standpoint, from a rebounding standpoint. The givens need to be givens. And we talk about that all the time, but effort's not something we talk about. So our players are tremendous in locking in. They're like a sponge every single day. They come in. We practice at 8 o'clock in the morning. There's not a moody person in the gym. They come with smiles on their face. They want to learn. They want to get better. They're extremely coachable. And we've got a tremendous staff that's ready to go, that's ready to teach, that works really well together. But it's going to be in the details, and every opponent's going to be different. We go from Wake Forest, and then it's at Notre Dame, and but it's nonstop. It's going to be one after another in the next 6 games. In an ACC tournament, you don't know what your draw is going to be, and then you wait on Selection Sunday, and here you go. And you got to quickly be able to transfer one thing to the next and be ready. But it's the attention to details and being prepared and just giving that all-out effort every single day.
It's great stuff. Karen, thanks for doing this.
Awesome.
Karen Middleton joining us. We're back with more of the Kara Lawson Show after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield. Coach Middleton was talking about effort and just, you know, the attention to detail for this team. We've talked about it before, but the effort is just something you don't have to teach, which is a special thing in this group, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we recruit it.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks to the young women in our program, their parents, their youth coaches, their high school coaches. These players came here with a lot of the great things already instilled in them. We didn't do much. We try to enhance it. We try to make it more permanent, and we try to help them mature. But they came here with this type of effort and this type of wanting to be a part of a team. And so I do think you have to recruit it. Mm-hmm. And that's what we focus on that a lot in recruiting, is finding the right type of players for our program.
Let me ask you about Toby. A couple of impressive games last week for Toby. Another 20-point game on Sunday, her 7th of the year. Hard to argue Toby the best freshman in the ACC, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes if you come out so strong, you can come across as diminishing the job that other freshmen have done in the league. And I think there's a lot of really good freshmen that have played well. I just don't think there's one that's having the impact that Fournier's having on the team. When you look at her ability offensively, certainly. She leads our team in scoring. When you look at her ability defensively, how versatile she is, she can switch 1 through 5. She leads our team in blocks. And then you look at the athleticism, that manifests itself in different ways. And we're winning. Mm-hmm. So and we're one of the best teams in the league. I just think the case is just really strong, the strongest case, I think, in the league. So yeah, I would be disappointed, if she wasn't.
Same. Where have you seen the biggest growth in Toby's game this year, from the beginning of the summer to now?
Just her overall understanding of basketball, and the schemes and things like that. And that's typical for a freshman. We just have, more texture to how we play than high school. We have more a thicker playbook, more terminology, different schemes, and so there's just a lot more that they have to learn and know. And so overall, her knowledge of the game has increased dramatically, and now she's able to play at this point in the year much more instinctively than at the beginning because she has it down, whereas before she was still thinking a lot, and so I think that's helped her a lot here in the last 3 weeks.
The bench was very important for your team last week during that 3-game stretch, but I thought Emma Cable had some big minutes for your team last week.
Yeah, I thought Emma in particular against Clemson in the third quarter gave us a really good spark. We went more to 4-guard lineup in the start of that third quarter. One, because Jaden was in foul trouble. She had 3 coming out of halftime. Went with Alucci to start the second half and 4 guards. And then I thought Emma and Vanessa came in and helped kind of jumpstart and stretch that lead out. They're all really good players. And, Emma and Vanessa are integral parts of our team. Their minutes have fluctuated throughout the year, but they're veterans. They're upperclassmen. I have great confidence in them if I put them in the game that they're going to help make winning plays.
How nice was it to see Luann get that bucket at the end of the game on Sunday?
Yeah, listen, that was the winning play to me of the game. Not because she doesn't play a lot and she scored. What she did defensively on the play preceding the layup was exactly how we scheme-wise were supposed to play, down to a T. And so think about if you could sit on the bench for 38 minutes, not get in with 2 minutes left, and execute it to a T. Not many people can do that, because a lot of people would be checked out already and frustrated that they didn't get in. Or they would get in and say, these minutes don't mean anything. I'm not going to do it, to the best of my ability. I mean, it takes just an incredible, tough, competitive player to be able to do that. Yeah, and I thought that was one of the best defensive plays of the day. Not just because it was Lou, but because it was exactly how we had taught them to guard the action, and she did it on the ball and then off the ball to get the steal to a T.
Hard to believe we're into the final 3.5 weeks of the regular season, isn't it? Like, it feels like the season has gone by so fast. Did it go by for you faster as a player or a coach?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. Sometimes it feels fast, but sometimes it feels slow.
Sure.
It's kind of like life.
Yeah?
I feel like sometimes life feels like it's flying by, and then other times it's like slow. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Feel like sometimes life is fast, but then sometimes life is slow? Yeah. It's always really slow when I'm doing something I don't want to be doing.
Yeah.
And when I'm doing something I like to do, it's fast.
Sure.
Does that happen to you?
Yes, all the time.
When I'm doing my workouts and Coach Justin is counting, like I have to hold something for 20 seconds or 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It goes so slow. He counts so slow.
On purpose, probably.
Yeah. I think he's counting Mississippi's.
Yeah.
And then when it's something I, want, it's like 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's crazy.
Sure.
Yeah. That happens to you too?
All the time.
Yeah.
All right, one more time out to Bird. We'll come back and grab and wrap it up with Coach after this on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overbee Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overbee Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overbee Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbeemarine.com. Overbee Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
I feel happy, Valero P Plus app.
I feel happy. It makes savings a snap.
Use it and start saving automatically.
You just save some money. Not too shabby.
I feel happy. I'm in and out real fast.
I feel happy, now pit stops are a blast.
Download today and get in on the fun. Valero P Plus app. Your savings have begun.
Oh, what a great camping trip for the Williams family.
It was epic, Zach. And this week's MVP was their 2024 Ford Bronco SUV, Matt. Absolutely. It hauled everything and everyone to this great spot by the lake.
And get them back in time for the big game.
Yeah, let's go! Let's go.
With the Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport SUV on your team, it's game on. For the latest offers, go to buyfordnow.com or see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
10 years ago, who could have predicted what the internet would bring? Streaming videos, voice assistants, smartphones, smart homes, work from home. But here we are, wondering what the next 10 years will bring. Whatever it brings, Lumos 100% fiber optic internet is ready with incredible speeds and reliability. So you can do more and be more than you ever thought possible on the internet built for the future. Plans start at $50 per month. Learn more at lumosfiber.com/next.
Back at GRUB to wrap it up with the head coach of the Blue Devils tonight. And Coach, happy early birthday. Some cupcakes for our fans tonight. Yeah.
Yes, we've got some red velvet cupcakes, my favorite cupcake.
I love
that and carrot cake, my 2 favorite cakes.
I love red velvet. It's so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I ask you every year about your birthday, right?
Yeah.
But quite a different question. Do you ever play a game on your birthday?
Yes.
What was the best game you played on your birthday?
I made the game winner. You knew that?
I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
I did not know
I thought you were like,
no, I'm not
throwing
saying
it
no.
right down the middle.
No.
Like, bam.
I try to always do that.
Yeah. Yeah, my 21st birthday, I spent it in Starkville, Mississippi.
Ooh.
We played Mississippi State. And we were, I don't know if we were down 1 or tied. Let's say we were down 1. It's a better story.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We were down 1.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It was tied or down 1. Let's say we were down 1. We were down 1, and I made a shot at the buzzer, and we won.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Our time running out here. This is our final show this year at GRUB. We've got a special 50th anniversary show coming up on February 24th.
Yeah.
Stay tuned on social and on Go Duke for all of that. But just a note about Wendy and the staff and how awesome they've been again here this year, hosting us all winter long.
Yeah, we thank them so much, and I come here. Well, of course, I come here every week for the show, but I come here every week in the off season to eat. So I just keep the show going. I just talk to myself at the bar. That's what I do. And so the show's actually year-round. You didn't know that. I do it without you. In May, June, and July, I just come in every week, and I sit at the bar, and I eat food. I don't drink, but
Sure.
I eat food. And
Many people might argue the show is better in the summer than it is during the season.
definitely.
As we wrap things up, give me a couple keys for this coming up week against Wake Forest Thursday and then at Notre Dame on Monday.
I mean, I think just the road games,
Yeah.
you know, is something. I mean, everybody knows all 5 of our losses have been on the road, and you know, and I think we've played well on the road. I don't think it's a bad thing, but it just kind of underscores how tough it is. So to have 2 this week, I love that we have them. we just got to continue to try and find ways to win on the road and see if we can keep growing and keep improving. And so Wake Forest is a good team. They have our full attention. And then certainly once we get past that game, then Notre Dame will have our full attention as well.
A happy early birthday.
Thank you.
I'll see you on Thursday.
All right.
That's the head coach of the Blue Devils, Carol Lawson. Thanks for joining us from Durham tonight on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.